Hey everyone, hi. It's Friday and I am Marcia Grace, your calm creativity connector, here to remind you always that there's a way to view your feelings and your experiences differently so that you can discover the solutions to whatever problems you have in your business or your relationships right within yourself, even in the midst of the fear, the concern, the doubt, all of those things that part of our mind is concerned with. That's only one little tiny part of us. There's another whole part that is hooked in, so to speak, to our greater wisdom, and that will direct you and guide you if you're willing to listen. So that's what I'm here to always remind you. And so my expertise, of course, is teaching what I call meditative contemplation, which is to differentiate it from what you might think meditation is. And that's something you can explore on my website a little bit later. But it's so important that we take care of ourselves. So important, especially as a business owner or having a job of responsibility. It's essential that you take care of you first, because you're not going to be good to your customers, your clients, your co-workers. You're never going to be good to them if you don't take care of you first. So today we are continuing our discussion of building confidence, because I think it is such an absolutely crucial topic, especially these days when so much has happened to undermine our confidence, despite ourselves. I mean, it has nothing to do with us personally, but the circumstances have certainly put a damper on so much of our businesses and our relationships, our families. I mean, everything is upside down. So we need to address this and see how we can help ourselves to get through what's an extremely difficult period. Now, hi, Buzzy. Thanks for coming. So today, I want to talk about, we've talked about taking care of yourself physically and lots of little practical things you can do. But today I want to just kind of step back a little bit, because sometimes we need to do just that. We need to step back and kind of reconnoiter. You need to give yourself a break from all of the stress and the goings on and what you're hearing and all of this. Turn off the radio, shut the whatever it is, you turn off the news on your phone, wherever you're getting your information, because all of that stuff can be so disheartening, and that really puts a damper on your confidence. So when you're feeling stressed, your confidence goes right down the tube. So when you have that sense of overwhelm, step back and do some reflection. So that's what I'm going to talk about, because sometimes part of our difficulties come in our relationships, whether they're with our workers, our colleagues, whoever they are, or our family members, right? Because your family members, much as you love them, can certainly get on your nerves. And if you've been living with them 24/7 for the last months, that can be quite a challenge. And it's a time to reflect on what those relationships are based on. Is it just blood? Is it just convenience? Is it just neediness? What is my reason for having these relationships? And if you find that any of these relationships are what I call toxic, meaning, when I say toxic, I don't mean you're going to die. Although anything can happen, right? But what I mean by toxic is that that relationship is not nurturing you, is not helping you see yourself as your best self, is not giving you good feelings about yourself and your environment in the world and what you're doing. That's a toxic relationship. If you've got someone who's always criticizing you, or who's always doubting what you're saying, or anything like that, this is a toxic relationship, and you really want to think twice about hanging out with that kind of person. So if you can get away, I highly recommend it. And that may be difficult, especially if it's a family member. But there are ways to accomplish that, which I talk about in my courses and things like that. But yeah, but consider it, because it's really so absolutely essential to your well-being and your confidence and your business success and all of that. So, all right, so when we step back, after we've kind of decided if there are any toxic people in our family or in our business, check what you're saying to yourself. Okay, this is very, very important, because we tend to not really pay too much attention to our self-talk. We just assume it's there, and whatever it is saying is, well, that's the way it is, and we don't really scrutinize it. And I'm asking you to do just that. You need to scrutinize your self-talk, because if you're not being patient and understanding with yourself, if you tend toward negativity, what have you been telling? If you're self-critical, well, it's no wonder that your confidence is flagging. Are you telling yourself I'm a failure, or this thing failed, or don't even use that word, okay? Maybe you made a mistake, and everybody makes mistakes, and that's okay. And it's essential that you can say, yes, I made a mistake, because then you can correct it. But don't consider that a failure. Edison, we all know this, right? Edison tried making a light bulb 10,000 times, and then until he finally got it right. So never giving up is absolutely crucial to our confidence and our success. So in this process of stepping back, we also want to analyze our actions, because again, here's where we can really take our confidence for a ride if we are not being true to ourselves, if we're not letting our words match our deeds, match our thoughts, right? Because if thought comes first, and then usually, you'll say something or you'll do something, and those things have to match. Because if you're saying one thing and doing the other, well, come on, what is that telling you? So, you really have to take that into consideration. Something needs to change if that's what you're about. So the lack of self-confidence will kind of put us in a position where we'll try to be pleasing other people instead of ourselves and being true to ourselves. And again, that's something you want to notice. This is deep self-work. This is deep work, but it's so rewarding if you're willing to do it, because it'll make all the difference in your success. So one step at a time. I mean, you don't have to spend hours doing this. If you can just, as I like to teach in my programs, you do this self-reflection kind of thing first thing in the morning, just for a few minutes to get yourself clear on what your day's going to be. Well, there you go. You're going to have a totally different understanding of what you're doing in your day and so forth. So, all right. So anyway, back to what else we can do as we are stepping back at this time, and that is to figure out your goals. Get clear on your goals, because if you're clear on what your goal is, no matter what anybody else says, you don't care, right? Because you've thought it out, you've made plans, you're starting to put it into practice, and as a result, you will achieve those goals. Just put one foot in front of the other, one little baby step at a time, and it will get done. And let me tell you, it's just so essential. And sometimes we need somebody. I know I needed somebody to help me do that recently, because I was just having difficulty getting my programs ready for you to experience and to have the benefit of. So I needed help, and I got help, and I'm so glad that I did. By the way, I want to tell you something very sad. I mean, I'm smiling and I'm cheerful and all of that, but I did have sadness yesterday because I found my little cat dead under my deck. And so it's interesting that we're talking about building confidence today, because when you lose a pet, it can be, it can kind of drag you down. And I start to question myself. Well, I shouldn't let her out. Maybe I didn't do the right thing, or maybe I don't know. You start to question yourself, and and I noticed myself doing that. But then I also remembered, because what I said about analyzing your actions and figuring out what your goal is, and we have goals with our pets as well, right? So I had a particular purpose for her, and she was a great cat. She did exactly what I needed her to do, and she's done some really incredible things as well. So I am very grateful for her. And we all come into life for a little, whatever time it is. Some of us for a long time, some of us for a short time, and there's no way to know how that's going to be, or why some people one way and other people the other way. It's something we have to accept, because there is no easy answer to that. So when I looked at my situation with her, my little Julia, and you can see her if you go to my Instagram page, Calm Creativity Connector, you'll see a picture of her there. I took many pictures of her because she was so beautiful and smart and funny. So, but I know that I feel good. I don't feel that my confidence has been drained, because I really feel we had the relationship we were supposed to have. So anyway, what else do I want to say about when we're stepping back and reconsidering, right? We're reconsidering how we're going to get our confidence back if it's flagging at this time. And so as I say, you want to figure out your goals. What is it you want to do? What is it you want to accomplish? Where do you see yourself next week? Start small, right? We don't have to go all the way till 10 years from now. If you want to, that's fine. But just what do you expect to accomplish by next week? Make a plan, right? Make a plan, and most importantly, write it down. Very important. If you don't write your goals down, they're really not goals; they're wishes. A goal is something you write it down and put it somewhere where you can see it. Write it on a big piece of paper and stick it in front of your monitor so that you can see it, and that's where you're going by next week or next month, or whatever the plan is, so that you are preparing yourself and nurturing that idea in your mind so that you will get it done. And there's nothing better than that to build your confidence. When you accomplish a goal, you're going to feel great, right? So, hi, my sweet Jamie, hi, sweetie, and Camille, thank you for coming, love you, so good to see you. So, yeah, so what else? Find your purpose, do your goals, remember where you came from. If you're not feeling good about yourself, this is the last thing I'm going to say. If you're not feeling good about yourself at the moment, remember something. We've all been through an incredibly trying time. And so things have happened, and that's nothing we could do about. But remember where you came from. Remember who you were before. Remember the good times. Remember the things that you have succeeded at, the things that put you where you are today and that make you a success or an expert in your field. Remember that, because that is so important, to hang on to the positive parts of your nature and of your abilities, so that you can refresh and renew that sense of who you are. Get those negative thoughts out of the way. Let them go. You don't need them. They're not helpful. And it's your decision. You can choose whether you're going to hang on to those negative thoughts or let them go. You always have that choice. I think that is one of the most simple but powerful ideas to remember. You always have a choice, okay? So, all right. What else do I want to say? Last thing, of course, the last thing to do in this time of stepping back is to spend some quiet time just listening. After you've done all the self-reflection and all this good stuff and thought about your goals and what have you, then just be still. Find a quiet place where nobody's going to interrupt you, and just be still. Be with yourself, what I call with a capital S, which means the part of you that's connected to the source. And call it God, call it Buddha. It doesn't matter what you call that source, but you know that it's something bigger than you are. That loves you, that nurtures you, that cares about you, and that will instruct you and guide you if you're listening. You have to be listening. If you're not listening, if you're busy, if your mind is busy chattering and complaining and finding fault and judging and all this other stuff, you're not going to hear it. So you need that quiet time. My time is in the morning, first thing. Get it done, because it changes your whole day, and it will bring you what you need. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with that. However, as we always do, if you have time to hang around, this is the spiritual part of our time together, and that's when I light a candle and we do some breathing, because as I always say, deep breathing, and I mean deep conscious breathing, is one of the most healthful things you can do for yourself. Seriously. It's such a simple thing. Again, I like simple, easy. I like it easy and simple. So, and breathing brings, it just does so many mentally great things and physically great things at the same time. So, okay, so we're going to do some conscious breathing today, real quick, but very powerful. And so I'm not going to count today. You do that on your own, but I do want you to consider that when you're breathing in deeply, that you are filling all the way up. So you're sitting up straight, not rigid, but just comfortably straight so your chest can expand and your belly. Most importantly, your abdominal area, because that's when you can pop out your belly when you're breathing, then you know you've taken a full breath. Okay, it's really the lungs expanding, but you feel it in your belly. Okay, so as you're taking that deep breath, just imagine your belly popping out and then filling all the way up like an empty vessel, as I always say, and then holding, and then you release the breath. Okay, so I'm going to be talking while you're doing this. Okay, so you're going to breathe. I'll say breathe in and blah blah blah, hold, and then so forth. Okay, so here we go. Let's do the first thing we do. You can look at the candle if you want to, or you can close your eyes, whichever works for you, is to blow out all the stale dead air. So just blow it out, pushing the belly in. Okay, and now begin that breath in. Very deep, full breath in. You're breathing in acceptance. Breathing in acceptance and love for yourself. And then holding, holding, holding. And now you are releasing, letting go of all resistance to peace, to being here in this moment. Okay, and in, now again, breathing in, all the way up, in possibilities and optimism. Okay, possibilities and optimism, and hold. And now release all fear, what's going to happen, and doubt, out. All right, and once more, I want you to breathe in ease and relaxation. Ease and relaxation in this moment. Let the shoulders go, just relax, hold. And once more, we're going to let out all tension and stress. Just let it go. Out. Okay, now just close your eyes for a moment and feel how good that feels. Having just taken 3 conscious, deep, slow breaths in and out sends all that wonderful oxygen to every cell in your body, energizing and relaxing at the same time, filling you with energy and ease. I love it, right? Energy and ease at the same time. Yeah, they work together. Energy and ease can work together. So, okay, so that's what I want to accomplish today. I want you to take that idea of breath work. You could do it anywhere, anytime, right? You don't need anybody else. You don't need to be anywhere special. Of course, being in a quiet place helps. But even if you're at work and you're sitting at the desk, and you can just stop when there's no one's bothering you, and just take a couple of deep breaths, you'll feel so much better. Okay, so have a beautiful weekend. And as I always say, everything begins with a thought. So keep your thoughts light. Have a great one. Bye.